Hey guys, so today we're making some cornbread dressing with chicken. Please make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let's get started with the recipe. So y'all, Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and so I want to make sure that y'all are prepared. So I am going to make some dressing today, and so I am just following the cornbread recipe on the back of my cornmeal. I didn't do anything different than what was listed on the instructions. And so I added the cornmeal, some milk, an egg, and then a little bit of shortening. So I'm just going to follow the directions on the back of the bag. So I'm just going to mix all of the ingredients together. And so this is what the consistency of the mix is like. And so I'm just going to melt some shortening into my glass casserole or whatever baking dish you're using. And I just did that for about 3 minutes in the oven. And then I'm going to add that hot shortening to the mix. And then you're going to grease the pan with the remaining shortening that's already in the pan, and then you're going to add in your mixture, and you're going to bake this in the oven. This cooked for about 25 minutes or so, or just until it's brown. And so while that's cooking, I'm going to work on my vegetables that are going into my dressing. So I have some celery and some onions, and then I am going to saute this on the stove with 1 stick of butter. Yes, a whole stick of butter. It's the holidays, and if you're making southern food, ain't nothing healthy about this food. So don't judge me. And so I am taking a shortcut. So I have a rotisserie chicken that I got from the store, and so I'm just going to use that chicken to put inside of my dressing. And so typically I make my cornbread the day before, just so it can be kind of stale a little bit. This cornbread don't taste good to nobody, so it's not really about the taste. You really just want it to be kind of stale. And to that cornbread mix, I'm going to add in 1 box of stovetop mix. You don't have to add in the stovetop if you don't want to. I like adding it because it has tons of flavor with all the seasonings. But you can easily just double your cornbread recipe if you don't want to use the stovetop. And so to that, I'm going to add in a can of cream of celery and a can of cream of chicken. And again, make your dressing how you want to make your dressing. You don't have to add in the cream of chicken or cream of celery, but I think that it adds a nice flavor and it helps to keep your dressing nice and moist. But again, you don't have to add it. And so this is the chicken. If you want to make your own chicken, you can. I did not. And so I'm just going to mix all of this together, and then we're going to start adding in our chicken broth. So what y'all making for the holidays? Make sure you leave me a comment below so I can know what y'all making, and it gives me ideas for the future. And so to my mixture, I'm going to add in some poultry seasoning and some ground sage, seasoned to your taste. I don't care what seasonings you use, just make sure your food is not bland. We don't want no bland food, y'all. And so I'm going to add in some chicken broth. You can make your own chicken broth if you want, but I don't have time for all that. So I'm going to add in about 5 cups of chicken broth maybe. This is one of those things where you kind of mix it and kind of see what consistency you're going for and add more liquid as you see fit. And so I'm just going to add in some garlic powder and some onion powder. And because I used the stovetop mix and those cream of celery and chicken, you want to be easy on the salt because those products contain a lot of salt already. And look, I don't want none of them problems, okay? So be easy with the salt, season to your taste. And so again, I'm just going to keep mixing and then adding in chicken broth as I see fit. If you want, you can add a little bit of chicken bouillon powder just for some additional flavor. But again, I am watching my salt intake, so I did not add that this time, but I have in the past. And so you're going to add in your poultry seasoning and sage to your taste. And this is me tasting my dressing because I want to make sure that it tastes good before I add my eggs. And so I felt it needed some more flavor, so I added in a little bit of adobo, and then I'm going to mix that, and then taste it again, and then I'm going to add in my eggs. So I'm using 2 eggs for this recipe, and so I'm just going to mix that all together. I'm going to grease a pan, put my dressing in there, and I'm going to bake it in a 375-degree oven for about 45 minutes to an hour. This one baked for about an hour. It really just depends on what consistency you're looking for. You don't want it to be super dry, or at least I don't want mine to be super dry. So I'm going to bake it for about an hour, but it really just depends on how big of a pan you're using, how thick it is, and things like that. And so this is the finished product. You can serve it with some gravy. You can serve it with some cranberry sauce. I did make some homemade cranberry sauce. But I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. Please make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. And so I am going to show you guys some on a fork. This is the consistency that I like. It still has some moisture, but it is a little bit firm. Please make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.